Hi all. In the previous video we have seen programs. One program is to write a table of a number using for loop, and another program is to display the day for the day number in a year. So those programs we have seen in the previous video. In this video we are going to see about the jump statements. Now what are jump statements? Now there are two types of jump statements. One is break statement, another one is continue statement. Now why they are called as jump statements? Because the control jumps from the current position to the statement following the loop or to the beginning of the loop, depending upon the statement, whether it is a break or continue, that we will see. That's why it is called as jump. Directly they jump either to the end of the loop, that is statement following the loop, or to the beginning of the loop. That's why they are called as jump statements, break and continue. Now let us see the syntax for break. What break will do is, break will come out of the loop. Break statement will come out of the loop, that is it will jump to the loop, jump to the statement following the loop. Okay, so I have written here the syntax for jump statement. So for control variable in sequence, this is for, and the statements following the for, if and you write some condition. So if this condition is true, it will break statement will get executed. That means from here where it will jump, from here, from this location, it will jump to the statements following the loop. It will jump to the statements following the loop. It won't execute the statements inside the for loop anymore if it is encountered break statement. Yes, if the break statement is encountered, it won't execute the statements in the for loop. It will jump to the statement following the for loop. Now let us see this with an example program. We will write a program how the break statement works in the loop. Now we will see a program using break statement. So we will write a program to take numbers from the user. That is, I am going to perform division operation in this program for 5 times. I am going to take numbers, 2 numbers in each loop, and I am going to perform the division operation. Okay, so this is a program to perform division operation for 5 times. I have declared 2 variables, number 1 and number 2. And I am going to run the loop for 5 times from 1 to 5. Here the loop will stop at 5. It won't run up to 6. And I am taking 2 numbers from the user using the input function. Input enter number 1, and I am converting the number to integer, and I am storing in number 1 variable. Similarly, I am taking number 2 and I am storing in variable number 2. Now what I have to do is, I have to check whether number 2 is a valid number. Suppose if user enters number 2 as 0, that means we cannot perform the division operation, as division by 0 produces an error. So I am going to just come out of the loop if user enters number 2 as 0. Using the break statement, I am going to just come out of the loop. So I am checking the condition here. If number is equal to 0, print division by 0 error, and I am writing the break statement. That means from here the control will jump to the statement following the for loop. If the number is 0, number 2 is 0, then this condition will become true. Else what will happen? It will perform the division operation and it will display the quotient of the division operation. So this is how we use the break statement. you're taking 5 numbers from the user, and I am checking whether it is whether number 2 is 0. If it is 0, I am just coming out of the loop. The break will jump to the statement following the for loop, and it will display the message end of the program. As we have completed with the break statement, now we will see how does the continue statement works. If you like my videos, you can subscribe to my channel Ishwari Classes, and don't forget to like it and share it with your friends. Now we will see the jump statement continue. Now what does continue do? Where does the control go? Whenever Python encounters the statement continue, it will jump to the beginning of the loop. Now what was happening in break is, whenever break was encountered, the control was jumping to the statement following the loop, to the statements following the loop. But in the case of continue, the Python control will jump to the beginning of the loop. The loop will continue and it will jump to the beginning of the loop. It will check the condition. Okay, so that I have written a syntax for the continue statement. So I have used while loop here, while, condition, and I have written some statements. And if I am checking for some condition over here, if this condition is true, continue. So what will happen is, continue will jump from here to the beginning of the loop, and it will check for the condition, and again it will go inside the loop, and it will continue executing the program. So this is how continue works. What happened in the break? It was jumping to the statements following the loop, but in the continue it will jump to the beginning of the loop. So that is the difference between continue and break. Now we will see continue statement with an example, program example. Now here is the program in which I have used a continue statement. So it is a program to add numbers. I am going to take numbers from the user as long as user wishes to enter the number, and I am going to keep adding those numbers. When the user says that he wants to stop entering the number, then the control will come out of the loop. So I am defining two variables, number is equal to 0 and sum is equal to 0, and I am running the loop, while loop, and I have specified the condition true here. That means the loop will execute here, okay, as the condition is true. Now I am taking a number from the user, input, enter any number, and I am converting into integer, and I am storing in variable num, and I am performing the sum operation. Sum is equal to sum plus number, and I am asking the user's opinion, whether he wants to continue the program, whether he wants to enter more numbers and add those numbers. So I am just asking input, do you want to add more numbers? Yes or no? User has to enter either yes or no. If answer is equal to y, suppose if user wants to continue adding the numbers, then he will continue. That is, the control will jump to while loop. From continue it will jump to the while loop, and as while loop is true, the condition is true, the following statements will get executed again. Suppose user enters no, what will happen? You have to come out of the loop, else break. You just come out of the loop. If you don't write this statement, what will happen? If you don't write break, then also the loop will get finished here. From here again it will go and check for the condition. Again the condition is true, so again these statements will get executed. But I don't want to continue these statements, executing these statements if the answer is no. Okay, so that's why I'm writing here, if answer is no, you just come out of the loop by specifying the statement break. So in this program I have used both the statements continue and break. Depending on the answer, I have used whether you have to continue the loop or you have to break the loop, and you can display the message at the end of the program. After the loop, you just display the sum is sum. So this is the example for continue and break. Now we will see for else statement. Now what is this for else statement? We have seen for statements and we have seen else statement with if else statement. Now what is this for else statement? For else statement. Now as we know what is for statement, it is nothing but a loop. That is, the loop gets executed for each element in the sequence. So that is about for. Now what is this else? What is this else? This is a syntax for else statement. Now when will this else statement get executed in the for else statement? Now the else statement will get executed if the for loop is completed or executed successfully. That is, if the control comes out of for loop using break statement, then the else statement won't get executed because it was an abnormal termination of the program. It is forcefully, the execution has come out of the for loop. Okay, but if for loop is successfully executed, that is, each element in the sequence gets processed, it reaches the end of the loop, then else statement will get executed. If there is abnormal termination, that is, if the abnormal termination of the loop using the break statement, then what will happen? The else won't get executed. The break statement will follow the statements. Break statement will execute the statements following the for. Now this we will see with an example program. See, this program we have seen earlier when I was explaining break statement in the for loop, where I have performed division operation for 5 times. I have run the loop for 5 times and I have taken 2 numbers from the user. If the second number is 0, then I am displaying the message division by 0 is not possible and it is an error. Okay, that program which we have seen earlier, it is here. Once again, let me explain. Here I have defined a variable rs is equal to 0 and I am running the loop from 1 to 5. That is, it will stop at 5 here, and I am taking input from the user. Enter number 1 and enter number 2, and I am storing in variables number 1 and number 2. If number 2 is equal to 0, that is, if the second number is 0, you have to display the message that the division is not possible as division by 0 is an error. Okay, and you come out of the loop. I don't want to continue further and I am just coming out of this loop. Else, you just perform the division operation. Result is equal to number 1 by number 2 and you display the message result. Now, if this loop gets executed successfully for 5 times, then what will happen? The else statement will get executed and it will display the message program successful. Suppose if this program was not successful, if the user has entered 0 in any one of the loop, that is, if a user has entered 0 any time, then it will come out of the loop using the break statement, and this statement won't get executed and you will get the message division by 0 error message you will get. So this is how the for else statement works. So you can try this program. Now if you like my videos, you can subscribe to my channel Ishwari Classes, and you can share the videos with your friends, and don't forget to like it. So in the next video, we will see more topics on Python. Thank you.